you never know going into every offseason, but it's good to be back. It's good to be with guys like Jordan over there, you know, so, yeah, going well.
What is your familiarity with just Brian Flores and kind of the type of aggressive defense that he wants to play?
Yeah, not super familiar. Hope to get that way, obviously. Always been kind of interested in that, kind of his style and who he learned from and what he's thinking during games and how they have matched things over the years. As you know, been in the league for a while and I've spent time in a couple of different systems, but never really this one. And not to say that this is a system. Flo's got his own thing, but he obviously is going to take from, you know, places he's been. So that was honestly a big draw in staying here is getting to learn from him.
Harrison, how does it feel to? I know you've been through when Anthony Barr left, and I know it's the business where things change. But now you're on the other side of it, where you know you're the long-standing veteran that's here, and you've seen so many of the guys that you basically grew up with on this team. How has that been?
It's I'm fortunate to have like played with all the guys I have and played for the coaches that I have throughout my career. So I don't have any like negative thoughts about it. It's mostly just I'm happy that I've been able to be around those type of people, and that's the world we live in. It's not just football. It's whatever your job is. You're not going to work with your colleagues, your coworkers for the entirety of it. And along with that, like you try to learn and adapt yourself and learn new things each year. Don't just become the old guy. Oh, he's been around. He knows this and that. Like I don't know a lot of what we're doing. But I have some pretty good experience from the past, so I think I can use those things to get better and to help those around me get better.
When you're coming into a new system, what's the off-season process like for you of trying to figure out what you might be getting once you get into the playbook? Do you go back and look at old film of what he's run in the past, or what's your process like?
It's a good question. I think kind of going off what I just said, I've got some pretty good success personally in the past and being part of pretty good teams and good units, and also some that aren't that great. Knowing what I think this time of year, like you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. Start at the ground floor. Like, how's your physical mobility? How's your strength? How's your speed and those things? And focus on the fundamentals of that. Like, what made you the athlete that got you to the NFL? Maybe go back to some of those things. Dumb it down a little bit, and then we'll get into the scheme. We'll get into the mental acidic stuff that piles up throughout the year. So I think just starting as, okay, is my weight good? Can I move well? Am I ready for contact? And kind of is my mind in a good place to kind of exchange some old information and bring in some new. So just kind of a reset and check the oil, you know, stuff like that.
Harrison, during the process with your contract, was there any serious consideration in your mind of looking elsewhere, or were you just kind of trying to get it done here?
No, I thought about it for sure. Yeah, I mean, human nature, kind of think about what other things and other places. Yeah.
And then ultimately, you just, what was the, you know, you mentioned Brian Flores, but ultimately, what were the reasons that you kind of decided, like, you're gonna keep doing it here?
I'd say flow was a big reason. I wouldn't say it was one thing. You know, I think you definitely have to appreciate what the Wolves have done with the Vikings and the leadership they have and kind of the investment they have in the franchise and the community and being a part of the community. And, you know, kind of as we talked about, kind of grew up here in a sense. So there's like tangible things I've thought about and intangible things, and they all kind of added up to I wanted to stay here and give it another crack, and yeah, it's tough to quantify everything, right? You try to, because it makes you feel good that there's a right answer or a wrong answer, but you don't always know.
How'd you just feel it, I guess?
Yeah, it felt right to stay.